Good morning, everyone. My name is Bella Thomas Wilson, and I'm a member on the board of directors here at TVUC, and I'm here to welcome you this morning. No matter who you are, where you're from, or where you're at on your journey, you're welcome here. If you would like some more information on TVUC, please check the seat in front of you. In the seat back, there should be a little information card, and you can fill that out and place it in the bowl on your way out. If you or your family are interested in our youth religious education programs, Miriam, Catherine, and Houston are all out at the education table, and you can stop by on your way out. We've got several fun announcements this morning. So firstly, the next landing points is today at 12:30 p.m. in room C after our Sunday service. Landing points is the sequel to Starting Point, but you do not have to have participated in Starting Point to attend. We will go over church programs, governance, membership details, and the diverse ways that you can be involved here at TVUC. All right, and then we've got 3 Green Sanctuary announcements. Firstly, a huge thanks to Bob Gremick, Doris Gove, and the TVUC Trail Trekkers, who have been caring for our section of the Third Creek Greenway since 2011. We thank them for their latest Save the Trees expedition early this morning. Their last Greenway trek was on March 31st for trail cleanup. Thank you, trekkers. Secondly, environmental groups tabling. You can come to the Greg McHenry Fellowship Hall after service today for fellowship, coffee, and information exchange about local to national environmental action opportunities. There will be members of organizations engaged in a range of environmental actions to chat with you. And then lastly, tomorrow, since today is Earth Day Eve, please come back to TVUC at 6:30 in the Greg McHenry Fellowship Hall. TVUC is co-sponsoring with the Knoxville Area Interfaith Power and Light the new free film honoring Earth Day called Common Ground. Green Sanctuary is grateful to the Monday Evening Tai Chi group for holding their session in the sanctuary so that they can show the film in the Fellowship Hall. Common Ground is a new film about how regenerating the world's soils has the potential to rapidly stabilize Earth's climate, restore lost ecosystems, and create abundant food supplies. People are calling Common Ground the most important film you'll ever watch, which is a really big claim, but it may just be true. There will be a short discussion afterwards. I'm going to call up Patsy Farmer to come up here.
Good morning. This is an unusual day. There's a great cloud of witnesses out here and also behind me. What a great thing. So this will be a wonderful Earth Day service. My name is Claudia Presley. I'm the Director of Finance and Operations here at Tennessee Valley. My job here this morning is to tell you about the offering time. If this is your first time visiting here, one of the things you'll notice is that we do not pass an offering basket or plate. There are baskets, though, located at the back on the choir railing where you can put checks and cash in. There's also a giving kiosk that is in the lobby where you can use a debit card or a credit card. If you are watching us online, you should see a bar or a button that says Give Now. And if you like to text, you can text Give to us at any time using the number 73256, type in TVUC, and the amount that you would like to give. Today is a designated offering Sunday. What that means is that 100% of any contribution that you give that is not marked as a pledge will go to today's organization. That organization is the Environmental Camp, the Lonsdale Environmental Camp at Tremont. Dave Ostermeyer is going to be coming a little bit later during the service and telling you more about what that camp does and why they do what they do. But for right now, thanks for being here. Please give generously.
Hi, I'm Patsy Farmer. I represent both the adult Religious Exploration Committee, and the 8th Principal Task Force. And we are offering our April session of the Wait a Minute series today at 12:30 in room A. There will be pizza for those who stay for this. Wait a minute. A diverse, multicultural, beloved community? The 8th principle, which TVUC adopted 2.5 years ago, says we will work to build a diverse, multicultural, beloved community. You may be thinking, wait, aren't we already that? You may be thinking, wait, we welcome everybody who shows up. You may be somewhere in between. Wait, how do we incorporate other cultures without losing our own? You're thinking maybe altogether somewhere else. Whatever you're thinking, please join us as we consider what multicultural means and how we might move in that direction while holding on to our UU values.
Thank you, Patsy. And then I'm going to call up Elise Ehring to talk about the All Ages Prom.
If you're tired of hearing from us, then register. Okay. Now, I have an interactive poll. Is this better? Can you hear me? Excellent. We don't like to hear ourselves sometimes, you know? Okay, I have an interactive poll, so I need you all to be brave and raise your hands if you hear something you like. Who likes music? Okay, that's good. Good start. Well done. Does anybody here like Taylor Swift? All right, good, good. What about Buddy Holly? Aretha? Elvis? See, I should be raising my hand every time, but you know, I could get. All right, what about B-52s? Kool and the Gang? Elton John? What about ABBA? Don't be embarrassed. Come on, all right? All right. Bruno Mars. Right? I got some of these going, but it's okay, it counts. Chubby Checker. Cher. We got any Beyonce fans? Okay. Now this one's a stretch, but I want you to be brave. Does anybody here like the Beatles? All right. And who likes to dance? For those of you not raising your hands, do any of you like to watch other people make fools of themselves on the dance floor? And by other people, I actually mean me, not any of you, okay? All right. So, last question in my poll here. Who wants to show support for the youth of this congregation? And if your neighbor's not raising their hand, you can raise it for them. There wasn't enough hands up there. How many of you want to show support for the youth? Okay, there's some timidity, but okay, so this is your chance. I'd love to see all of you at our upcoming All Ages Prom, and we really do mean all ages. I want to see our Margos and Deacons dancing with our, well, Chloes and Gordons, okay? It's on May 3rd from 5:30 to 9 p.m. in this room, in this building, okay? And we are flipping the script on prom. Instead of the adults throwing this for the high schoolers, our high schoolers will be throwing it for all of you. And they will be the ones chaperoning you. We'd like you to register ahead of time for this event so we know how many people to plan for. And of course, the sooner you register, the better, because then we can plan better. You can find the registration when you log into your Realm account, in the newsletter, in our Facebook group, or on these posters that are around the building. And if you see this poster, there's a QR code in the corner. You can point your smartphone camera at that. It'll bring up a little link that you click on, and it'll take you directly to our registration page. Now, you can pay $15 to come to this event and have a great time with your community, or you can pay $100 to not come. But seriously, we are open to any donations, including refreshments and volunteers. Even if you don't want to dance, but you're a photographer or a great host, we want you here too. Please show up and show these high schoolers that you support them, because all the proceeds will be going to your high school youth group for next year's programming. Also, it's an opportunity for us all to have fun together. Now, a last note about registration. On the website, you'll see a banner that reads, "Register here." Below that banner are opportunities to sign up for donations and volunteering. And to register, you need to click on the banner itself, and it will open up the registration page. Now, I started talking about music. The registration includes a couple of questions. First, it'll ask you, what year did you graduate from high school? Or if you didn't, give us the approximate year you might have, okay? And secondly, tell us some songs that you like to dance to, because your prom DJ will be thrilled to get some feedback from you, because I want to make our playlist to make the night as fun as possible for everybody. Anyway, thank you all for being a part of this community and showing up for each other here every week, and I can't wait to have a good time with all of you at the prom.
Thank you, Elise. Last but not least, I'm going to call up Leslie to talk about the rummage sale.
Good morning. I finally recovered. No, seriously, I hope you all saw my announcement shortly after Rummage. We had 47 plus volunteers participate in this year's Rummage sale. So give yourselves a big hand. We do still have a couple of things hanging around the building, and I need to endeavor in the next 10 days or so to have them removed because they are taking up space, but I want to make sure that you're aware of them. One of them is a rather large wardrobe cabinet. It's back here in this room. If you would like to make an offer and make it yours, please be in touch with myself or with Claudia, and we'll help arrange a time when somebody can meet you or I can meet you and get it out the building. You may need assistance with that one. Then down the hall, there is a very nice china cabinet. It's in two pieces. It can easily be moved in a pickup truck, but it is also looking for a home. So I want to make sure that you all are aware of these two pieces. They are still available for the taking. Contact me or Claudia. Otherwise, in 10 days, I'll be making phone calls to arrange pickups from a charitable organization. But you guys have the first chance at it. Thank you again for all of your help during Rummage 2024.
Thank you, Leslie. Now, if we could please silence our electronic devices as we enter into worship.
This morning's meditation, Choose Your Seeds from the Neon Mixtape tour from the video game Plants vs. Zombies. This is the music that you hear at the moment in the game when you're choosing seeds for plants that you will place in your yard. And those plants will go on to defend your yard from the attacking zombies. They throw frozen peas or lob melons or breathe fire or grow walls to prevent this onslaught. So during this meditation, I invite you to meditate on what kinds of seeds we can choose as we think about protecting the earth. And we're thinking of our speakers and their messages today as seeds of hope. So when you hear some of this music again in the service, please be reminded that these are our seeds of hope. These are ideas we are choosing for the future in our struggle to protect the earth.
Last Sunday, Flower Communion reminded us that to grow and bloom, seeds must be planted. Today, in celebrating Earth Day, we seek to plant and nurture seeds of environmental hope. Our opening musical meditation reminds us there are daunting challenges to nurturing our natural world and planting seeds of hope, perhaps even using plants against zombies. Does anybody know how to act like a zombie?
Our TVUC Green Sanctuary is grateful to everyone here today in person and online, to everyone who has helped today's events happen, to each and every individual who has engaged in environmental action over the course of your life so far, and to each and every individual who will engage in the moments, days, and times to come.
Since 2011, TVUC has been a member of the Green Sanctuary program of our national organization, the Unitarian Universalist Association. Green Sanctuary's current focus is mobilizing for climate justice through 4 campaigns. 1, mitigating, reducing new sources of climate damage. 2, adapting to and strengthening resilience. 3, transforming how we as a congregation understand and engage with the rest of the natural world and each other. And 4, fighting for climate justice, an alliance with people who are affected first and most from climate change and systemic oppression.
And where do we engage in these 4 campaigns? First, here in our congregation, also in our homes, and in our larger communities.
We invite you to check out the Green Sanctuary grid of campaigns and places in the Greg McKendry Fellowship Hall. We encourage you to add your own actions to the grid, building connection and community and helping us celebrate together.
Later in the service, Wendell Berry challenges us to change critical assumptions that many humans hold about ourselves and the rest of the natural world. We take a calculated risk right now by assuming that everyone here, in person and online, has a sense of the massive dangers of our natural world faces and of our human roles in creating these challenges. We move through Earth Day service with these words of folk singer activist Pete Seeger ringing in our ears and in our hearts. There is no hope, but I could be wrong.
Please rise for the singing of our chalice lighting. All are welcome.
Oh, love is the spirit of this church, excuse me.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our great covenant.
Thank you. So it says there are words in your order of service for where have all the flowers gone, but we're going to assume that you know it or you'll figure it out.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls have picked them, every one. Oh, when will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn? Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young girls gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Gone to young men, every one. Oh, when will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn? Where have all the young men gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young men gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young men gone? Gone to soldiers, every one. Oh, when will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn? Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone? Gone to graveyards, every one. Oh, when will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn? Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time passing. Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time ago. Where have all the graveyards gone? Gone to flowers, every one. Oh, when will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn? Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls have picked them, every one. Oh, when will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn?
It is good to be gathered today in all the ways that we gather here in this room and those watching from other spaces in this building or elsewhere. I have a story to share today that is a true story about a real person, and this version of her story is adapted from one written by Jeanette Winter. And it is the story about somebody named Wangari Maathai. Now, Wangari Maathai was born in 1940 in a little village near Mount Kenya. And can anybody guess where in the world Mount Kenya might be? Yeah, where might it be? That's a good guess. It's actually in a place in Africa in the country Kenya. So when she grew up and she was a kid, she loved going into the forest nearby with her mother where they gathered firewood to use for their fireplace at home. Does anybody here like going into the forest? And she also, as she was growing up, helped harvest sugar cane and maize and sweet potatoes that were some of the things that her family ate. Has anybody here ever worked in a garden? And what do you need for a garden? Water, dirt, good soil, yeah. Yeah, you need somewhere where there's sun, yeah. So they had sunlight and water and rich dirt for those plants to grow in. And after a while, Wangari herself grew tall. How many of us have gotten taller than we used to be? And when she grew up, she was somebody who loved learning. I suspect some of us, many of us here might love learning. She actually won a scholarship to travel to the United States to study, and what she loved most of all was biological sciences. And she was here in the US for a number of years, and when she was done with her studies, she went back to her home in the little village in Kenya. But something had changed. Thousands and thousands of trees had been cut down as they were building new buildings, but no new trees had been planted to replace them. And she looked around, and the land was barren. And the women in her village had to walk miles and miles to get to somewhere where they could gather firewood now, for the forest nearby was gone. And Wangari wondered, is all of Kenya going to become a desert? How many of us have ever seen a problem that felt really big? And Wangari was thinking about this big problem that she had in her country, and she thought, well, I can start with a little something. And you know what she did? She started by planting 9 little seedlings of trees in her own backyard. And then she began talking to the other women in her village and nearby, saying, our lives will be better again if there are trees. Our lives will be better if there are trees. Will you help me plant more trees? And so the women of her village began planting tiny seedlings all over the place. And they planted, and the news of this spread, and more people in more villages began planting. And in fact, Wangari herself managed to give a small amount of money to each person who had planted a seedling if it was still alive after 3 months. So that helped encourage them to take care of them and help them grow too. And Wangari didn't just plant seedlings, she also saw that the cutting was continuing. And a lot of the old tall trees that were still there were still being cut down. And she tried to stop the cutting. And she placed herself in the way. And she said, there needs to be a park here more than there needs to be a new office building. But the people who were in authority there disagreed with her. And in fact, she was arrested and she was put in jail. But she thought, right is right, even if I'm alone. Have any of us ever felt alone? But Wangari was not alone. News of what she had done was spreading, and more people continued planting seedlings. And after a time, she was freed, and what she started became known as the Green Belt Movement. More and more seedlings were planted all over Kenya, and that has grown to many places in Africa. And today, if you were to go up on Mount Kenya, you will see the green of trees that have been returned, and that work continues even today. And after a time, Wangari Maathai won one of the biggest, most well-known prizes in the world. Some of us might have heard of the Nobel Peace Prize. And as we celebrate Earth Day tomorrow and recognize it this weekend, I'd like to invite us to keep in mind and work to bring to life the words from Wangari herself that Jackson here is going to share with us to close our time.
We are called to assist the earth to heal her wounds, and in the process heal our own. Indeed, to embrace the whole creation in all its diversity, beauty, and wonder.
Thank you. And thank you for your help. And now our learners and leaders who are heading to religious exploration spaces will head out as we sing the recessional.
have to excuse me, I'm still looking for zombies, but I didn't see any right there. But, anyway, I'm Doug Cox. I'm with the spiritual care team. We listen and pay attention to people who have joys and concerns as a team. We all do it in the congregation, which is needed for all of us. We need to be heard when we have something to say. So let's listen as best we can. Next are the joys and concerns that have come to our attention. We've been given permission to mention those. There are many joys and concerns that are not represented in what I'm going to say, so we don't mean to ignore that. They're there. There's a memorial service for Bill Dockery, a beloved member of this congregation. It will be held this afternoon at Central United Methodist Church. Visitation 2 to 4 p.m. And the service is at 4 with Reverend Bice participating. The service will be live streamed at knoxcentralumc.org. Maddie Culpa shares a joyful update about her 8-year-old son, Jackson Horton. In recent months, Jackson, as you may know, has had several specialists done testing, and doctors have found no evidence of the major issues that Maddie was concerned about 6 months ago. So he felt all the love and concern that's been shared with him from this congregation. Another joy comes from Ori and Sarah Weaver. Saturday, a week ago, their 2.5-year-old son, Deacon, had managed to swallow a button cell battery. It was discovered at Children's Hospital the battery was removed, and all was well. I guess he was delighted. Tina Becker has been in and out of surgery last week and is recovering nicely after a scare with post-surgical blood clots. We wish her continuing good news and a speedy return to our midst. Lori Knox tells us that having bad things happen makes it easier to count one's blessings. She believes that because although she has broken her arm, she was surrounded by the good care of Zandy and Katya, who grew up here at TVUUC. Please send her healing thoughts on her journey. Peter Kovac, son of Jeffrey and Susan Kovac and a brother of Rachel, was married to Maya Holloman on Saturday, April 20th, yesterday, in Hogg, Virginia. Peter was born and raised at TVUUC. He and his two daughters are currently members of Cedar Lane UU in Bethesda, Maryland. Mark and Sue Laddish and their children, Christina and Matt, held a celebration of life for their dear son and brother, Tony Webb, yesterday. Each of them expressed deep appreciation for the support that they have received from us here at TVUUC. This week we are mindful of Arlene Gray as she and her family prepare the memorial service for her daughter Arlana, to be held here at TVUUC Saturday, April 27th at 1 o'clock. Arlana grew up in our church and was an enthusiastic camper at the mountain camp. She had an independent mind, a fierce spirit, and a lovely singing voice. She was a lover of small animals and collector of houseplants, a nurturer of life. Although she was only 17, she made the very adult decision to become an organ donor. Even in death, she continues to give life. And our thoughts are with Evan Loya, whose pet hedgehog, Chickadee, died this week. Evan was 6 when Chickadee joined the Loya family in the early part of the pandemic shutdown, bringing joy and friendship at a time when his world was suddenly much smaller, and she will be missed. We also share the pain and sorrow of those dear brothers and sisters who are locked in zones of conflict, where joy is a day without bombs, and joy is a plate of food. So join me in a moment of reflection on all of these joys and concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right? No. Do like this. Like that? Can you hear me now? All right? There we go. All right, move over. We have lived by the assumption that what was good for us would be good for the world. And this has been based on the even flimsier assumption that we could know what was good even for us. We have fulfilled the danger of this by making our personal pride and greed the standard of our behavior toward the world, to the immense disadvantage of the world and every living thing in it. And now, perhaps very close to too late, our great error has become clear. We must change our lives so that it will be possible to live by the contrary assumption that what is good for the world will be good for us. And that requires that we make the effort to know the world and to learn what is good for it. Wendell Berry. Our musical meditation and first hymn also are pathways for us today to shift our assumptions about and connections with Mother Earth. Our prayer meditation that follows next gifts us with the pathways towards that learning. The Ute people and Ute Indian tribe were the first residents and caretakers of Ute land, which encompassed modern-day Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, eastern Nevada, northern New Mexico, and parts of Arizona. Ute tribal history shows that the tribe lived in harmony with the vast range of ecosystems and landscape of the desert, Rocky Mountains, the Grand Mesa, and other geological features of that area.
Earth, teach me stillness as the grasses are stilled with light. Earth, teach me suffering as the old stone suffers with memory. Earth, teach me humility as blossoms are humble with beginning. Earth, teach me caring as the mother who secures her young. Earth, teach me courage as the tree which stands all alone. Earth, teach me limitation as the ant which crawls on the ground. Earth, teach me freedom as the eagle which soars in the sky. Earth, teach me resignation as the leaves which die in the fall. Earth, teach me regeneration as the seed which rises in the spring. Earth, teach me to forget myself as the melted snow forgets its life. Earth, teach me kindness as the dry fields weep with rain.
It is a meditative, join us as you will, and you'll catch on quick. The words are Sacred, Holy Mother Earth.
Sacred, holy, holy.
Elizabeth Waddington reminds us that hope is hard to maintain when we are constantly bombarded with bad news and facing increasing climate chaos. Sadness and anger can lead to a lack of action, to giving up. But as Cory Booker said, you can't have hope without despair, because hope is a response. Hope is the active conviction that despair will never have the last word. How to motivate action and behavioral change is one of the foremost challenges of the environmental movement. Hope is one of the strongest tools in our arsenal. Pay attention to our environment, Elizabeth encourages, and we soon realize that around the world, many individuals are quietly acting, producing their own good news stories, large, medium, small. Community forged with others can nurture seeds of hope. In fact, a mantra that many community organizers write on their hearts is that you don't have to struggle to do it all on your own, and you probably shouldn't even try. Connection and cooperation help us acknowledge victories as well as setbacks, and help us seek out positives, neutrals, and negatives. Yes, here is another organizing mantra: celebrate the victories, whatever size they may be. Barack Obama offers this summary. Hope is not blind optimism. It's not ignoring the enormity of the task ahead or the roadblocks that stand in our path. It's not sitting on the sidelines or shirking from a fight. Hope is that thing inside us that insists, despite all evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it and to fight for it. Hope is the belief that destiny will not be written for us, but by us, by those who are not content to settle for the world as it is, who have the courage to remake the world as it should be. So to Pete Seeger, singer, songwriter, activist, beacon of courage and hope, we say thank you for gifting us with reality, challenge, and a path forward in the face of daunting environmental conditions. There is no hope, but I could be wrong.
My name is Bob Grimmick, and I don't go anywhere without my traveling clothesline. I don't know about you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a few reflections, and I want to teach you 2 words in sign language. Thank you. I have a long thank you list here. Say thank you, thank you. In sign language, you can double your thanks with 2 hands. If the person in front of you want to thank, it can be directional. And I want to show you the word window. I'm going to close my thoughts with the word window. Open the window. Everybody, I want to thank the founders of Earth Day 1970. Senator Gaylord Nelson from Wisconsin, after seeing the Cuyahoga River catch on fire for the 13th time in Cleveland, Ohio, smart people like him got together and decided that we need a day to celebrate the Earth. And so they had the first environmental teach-in in 1970. I want to thank, again, Doris Gove. She is one of our environmental heroes. The trees you see on the hillside here mainly were planted by Doris. Doris will plant a tree even when she's told not to plant a tree anymore. Doris will plant a tree when she has back trouble so bad she can't stand up. She's on the ground planting trees, and then she'll recruit people like me to plant a tree for her. I want to thank the TV trail trekkers, Rick Vaughn. This morning we had 3 people. Doris and me and Rick Vaughn were out on the trail. We have our Third Creek Greenway is 51 years old, started in 1973, and there are trees being smothered and strangled by vines, and we saved 3 of them. We had 3 people today, and we saved 3 trees. And we say thank you to the tree huggers. We are trying to get more organized. We're going to meet on May 19th to continue our tree saving efforts. There is nobody else, unfortunately, in town doing that work, and we need more people. I want to thank Barbara Lamb, who's never in the service, but she's on the hillside. Give her a thanks. Barbara has brought fresh fruits and vegetables to our congregation, our children, for the past 10 years. I know 2 years ago I was in Aldi and picked up a tomato, and it had come from Canada. And I'm happy that the Canadians can share their tomatoes, but a tomato from the hillside would have been so much more delicious. So shop local and grow local, and thank Barbara Lamb. I want to thank the Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church for being a home for the Sierra Club. The Sierra Club has been around since the 1890s. Our local chapter was started in 1972, and most of that time they have met at our church, the old building and the new building. We meet next on May 14th, the second Tuesday of the month. We need more people. There's 1 million members nationwide, 2,000 in East Tennessee, but we get about 20 people, and we need more people to come learn about the good things that people are doing and how to help the earth. I want to thank this church for opening our doors to the Vegetarian Society. Everybody, we have been meeting also since the old building. We followed the church when they moved down the street. We are learning to eat tofu, not turkey. Chickpeas, not chicken. And for some of us, it's very important to be in harmony with the animals, and we thank the church for letting us use the fellowship hall. We meet on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. We have a visitor from Mexico City, living in Knoxville, going to teach us gorditas. So come at 6 o'clock and bring a vegan or vegetarian dish. I want to thank our member, John Nolt, who hasn't been in this service for a few years since the pandemic, but he assured me last night he is a member, and he is still cutting his grass by hand, 3/4 of an acre. And John rode his bike every service to the church. Let's give him a thank you. In South Knoxville. Everybody, I want to thank the dishes. If you are an event planner at the church, I want to thank you for planning to use our real dishes. We have about 80 ceramic dishes. We have over 100 green plastic plates. Thank you, Rick, for holding them up. Everybody, if you're an event planner at this church, I thank you in advance for having the real dishes, real bowls, real cups. And we do have dishwashers among us. Rick is one that I've been using. He's been helping me since December wash the dishes at our events. Thank you, Rick. I want to thank Jenny Arthur, who used to be our church administrator. In the old building, I said, Jenny, I would like to join this church, but are you composting? And she said, yes, we can compost. And we have been composting more or less ever since. Everybody, I've been the president of the Compost Club since 1997. I might get to retire. White is the new green. I just bought us new buckets, and I came at 7:30 this morning and washed the ones out there because nobody likes a grubby compost bucket. So there's little ones, there's big ones for flowers or, big chunks of rotten squash or watermelons or whatever you want to put in there. So thank you for composting at our church. And yesterday, on the most beautiful day ever you can imagine, Rick, bring those yellow shorts out here, please. Bring those yellow shorts. If you, on a beautiful day, hung your clothes on a clothesline or a clothes rack, I want to say thank you. Rick is practicing now. Thank you to all the people who use a clothesline when they can. And thank you for anybody who can ever open a window. Let's say it out loud. Open a window. Open a window. Because I see in my little neighborhood on the days that are the most glorious possible, people using gigantic machines to be cool, but I'd like them to open a window. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Dave Ostermeyer, and I'm here to talk to you about Tremont. And our participation with that. But first, I want to give a little setting. Lonsdale is a community in Knoxville that's kind of in the industrial center of Knoxville. And for those of you who occasionally drive on 275 going north, on the left, you'll see a big metal refurbishing plant. That sits kind of in the middle of Lonsdale, okay? And Lonsdale Elementary School, 100% of the kids that go to that school are in the free lunch programs. So that gives you an understanding of the socioeconomic background of the kids in terms of their ability and their parents' ability. It's a poor community. That the community, in a lot of respects, is thriving. There's been a big change in the community in the last 10 to 15 years. 15 years ago, there was hardly any Hispanic kids that went to that school. Today, about 85% of the kids in that school are Hispanic, and obviously of immigrants. And the kids are a wonderful group of kids to work with. About 10 years ago, this congregation introduced Lonsdale to the Tremont Environmental Center. And there'd been no participation or no linkage between Lonsdale and Tremont until that introduction. And ever since then, the 5th grade at Lonsdale, have been going to the Tremont Environmental Center. How many have ever heard about Tremont? It's one of the leading environmental education centers in the United States. And so we're lucky to have it here really in our backyards. So these kids go over there for 2 nights and 3 days of activities and learning and being in nature. And so these kids hardly ever get out of Lonsdale, let alone get into the national parks. And so I'm going to try something, and I want you just to close your eyes for a few minutes and think about the last time that you heard something in nature, okay? Whoops. What happened? Well, what I wanted to do was, I'm not a techie. What I wanted to do was play a barred owl. How many of you ever heard of a barred owl? Heard of barred owl? Well, these kids get that first experience of really being in nature, okay? And this church has been a supporter of that effort in the last 10 years. And we've got many partners. One of the main ones is the Sierra Club that Bob Grimmick just mentioned. The Sierra Club has been a really important partner for us and others. The Second Presbyterian Church is also a partner in that, as well as other organizations. So it's been really a community organization. But the genesis of that started with this church, okay? So you should be proud of your participation and this church's participation in that. So as we celebrate Earth Day, I want you to try to think about and again give as generously as you can to help these kids, because it costs well over $200 a piece to get the kids to the camp, and there's 50 to 75 that go every year. So it's a big ask, but we do a lot of effort on fundraising. And so again, give generously, and we appreciate all the help you can give us. Bye-bye.
In the spirit of the owl that David was playing for us, now is the time when you can begin to use those instruments you were gifted with around you. There's a guitar over there. You can pick it up and play on it if you want. You're welcome. It's tuned for our special effects right now. Your rustling will be the sound of growing things as we perform this hymn. So please join in, shake and rattle.
Mary, why did you try to get me to follow this? Thank you. Thank you. That was incredible. My journey as a community organizer has largely occurred within mission-driven, not profit-driven organizations, but not just any mission. My grandfather was a coal miner and a union organizer. Of course, I didn't find that out until after I became an organizer, go figure. It would seem I have inherited my grandpa's need to heed the call to ride in solidarity with my posse for economic justice. Most, if not all of us here in this beautiful sanctuary are also in this posse, right? Of course, being in this posse also means standing in solidarity with all oppressed people, as well as an oppressed earth. Economic justice is racial justice, is earth justice. As John Muir, the founder of the Sierra Club, said, when we try to pick out anything by itself, Bob knows the next part, right? When we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe. A fellow named Hopkins broke it down this way. If climate change and environmental injustice are the result of a society that values some lives and not others, then none of us are safe from pollution until all of us are safe from pollution. This work, this mission, is literally about saving life. All life. Everybody's life. I love life. I love Earth. Earth loves me. For me, this work, this mission, is love in action. For the woman I'm about to introduce to you, her work, her mission, is love in action. I was raised Catholic and went to Catholic grade school, which meant attending Mass every morning at 7:30 before classes. I was also pretty much forced to go to Mass every Sunday. It all began to feel like forced labor and meaningless ritual by about third grade. But I hung in there somehow till eighth grade anyway. By the time my parents ran out of money to put me in Catholic high school, I bolted from the church and did not look back for many years. It was only after becoming a student of the civil rights movement and realizing that in the South, it was largely a religious revival movement, that my attitude toward the church and toward religion in general began to thaw. As I began to be drawn into social justice and then economic and environmental justice work, it was inevitable that I would be confronted with the fact that some of the most committed and inspired, i.e. badass organizers and activists I have met are called by the social gospel to do what they do and unabashedly identify as members of a church. They inspire me to this day, especially in this room. My latest and maybe even greatest local version of this inspiration are the women of Connect Ministries, whose life-saving work in the heart of Knoxville's inner city has been a lighthouse, yes, I said a lighthouse, Monica, of hope for going on 20 years. And now they are joining forces with the sturdy union folks I work with at Knoxville Oak Ridge Central Labor Council and East Tennessee Jobs with Justice and the Solar Equity Project to replace the original sanctuary of Greater Warner AME Church on Martin Luther King Avenue in Burlington, East Knoxville, with another kind of lighthouse. The Burlington Lighthouse Performing Arts and Community Center will be lit up with solar panels installed by local contractors who will pay a living wage to apprentices recruited from Knoxville's disadvantaged communities. Connect will support them with an array of supportive services, from child care to fixing flat tires, to make sure the folks give people their best chance at completing our certified apprenticeship readiness program to prepare people for steady, well-paying, career track jobs in the green building trades. John Muir was right. When we try to pick out anything by itself, we find it hitched to everything else in the universe. I'm so grateful to find us hitched to Connect. Did you get that? Hitched, Connect. Pete Seeger said, "There is no hope, but I could be wrong." Guess what? Pete was wrong. There is hope. More than hope, there is love in action. It's here. It's now. I'm so grateful to connect. I'm so grateful to connect you to it right here, right now. Please welcome Hope. It's here today. Please welcome Hope. Her name is Monica Reed, and she is the Director of Operations for Connect Ministries.
Good morning, or if it's the afternoon yet. Thank you, Rick, for that introduction, and thank you, and I count it a privilege to be here this morning to share with you some hope, help, and healing. That we plant seeds daily at Connect Ministries. As Rick said, we've been doing this work for about 20 years now, and you don't get rich working in nonprofits, that's a fact. And so we worked probably close to 10 to 12 years without getting a salary. So we worked just to bring in funds, whatever we could get in, and the Lord has provided everything we have. We don't get grant funding, and so to hitch our horse to that wagon, it's just been a blessing. And so we know sometimes that's how the Lord works and brings things full circle. And so we've been doing this work where people come into our doors for whatever services someone has referred them to, or friend or neighbor, other organizations. We get probably 10 to 12 walk-ins a day or phone calls from people saying that CAC or the Urban League or Compassion Coalition or some other organization who gets multi-million-dollar budgets have referred them to Connect Ministries. And so just imagine that. But our job and our focus is in ministry is to serve the least, the lost, and those that the Lord has sent our way. We pray every day before we open our doors that the Lord will send whosoever will, send them, Lord, and let them meet you here. And so our job is to serve with gladness, to serve with humility, and serve with love, because just by the grace of God, it's not us on the other side of that counter coming in needing help. And some people that work with us have been in that place. And so those are the best servants that you can ask for, those who have been there, who've been down, and somebody has given them a hand up. And so we help people with a myriad of services, and he talked about wraparound services. There's wraparound services that people may help someone with that are the quote-unquote in the grant language, but it's not going to be in the grant language that if someone has a flat tire that you can buy them a tire. It's not going to be in the grant language that if somebody has a new job and need new clothes to start work, that you can help them buy clothes. And so a lot of those things are not in the grants that people get, but we don't have any noose around our neck, and we don't have any hurdles to jump over to serve people. So we serve wherever the need is. We come up to meet it. And so we've been doing this work in the inner city of Knoxville, in the Burlington community now. As we talked about, the Burlington Lighthouse project is about to launch. And so we're excited about the work that we do, and we're excited to serve the least, the lost. We're excited that the Lord has chose us for such a time as this to serve in this part of the vineyard. And so we're just happy to come and help celebrate this Earth Day and talk about the seeds that we're planting in the lives of those who are lost every single day. And so we pray with people as they come in and as they leave. People just want to know, why are you helping me? Why are you helping me like this? But this is what we do. This is just what we do. And so one lady came in the other day and she said, well, it's almost 11:30. What time do y'all go to lunch? I was just at an organization and they said I had to come back because they're going to lunch. I said, we don't know what lunch is. Because we work from the time we get there to the time we leave. And so sometimes that doesn't allow you to eat lunch. But it does give you an opportunity to pray with somebody every single day. And so we're planting seeds of hope, help, and healing in East Knoxville through Connect Ministries and the work that they do, and we count it a privilege and a joy to serve each and every day. Thank you.
We're 5/6 of the accidentals because Laurie broke her arm. This one's for you, Laurie.
This is our last hymn, so stand up and celebrate.
Another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. I put my faith in the people, but the people let me down. So I turn the other way and I carry on anyhow. That's why I'm telling you, I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of living. Had my hand on the dollar bill, but the dollar bill flew away. But the sun is shining down on me and it's here to stay. That's why I'm telling you, I just want to celebrate another day of living. Yeah, I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Don't let it all get you down, no, no. Don't let it turn you around and around and around and around and around. Well, I can't be bothered with sorrow, and I can't be bothered with hate, no, no. I'm using up my time, but I'm feeling fine every day. That's why I'm telling you, I just want to celebrate another day of living. Yeah, I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Don't let it all get you down, no, no. Don't let it turn you around and around and around and around and around. I just want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate. I just want
Okay, our closing words today are by Jenny F. Butler, When I Pray Each Day. Infinite Spirit, when I pray each day for shelter for the homeless, let me not ignore the pet without a home. As I ask protection for those in areas of turmoil and unrest, let me not forget endangered species of life. When I pray that the hungry be fed, let me be mindful that all God's creatures have need of sustenance. As I ask divine assistance for those afflicted by fire, flood, earthquake, storm, or drought, let me remember that this includes every living thing. In seeking miracle cures for human disease, may I also speak for the well-being of the planet itself. Let the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart, and the actions of my life be as one, that I may live each day in harmony with Mother Earth. Amen.
Prophetic Church, the world awaits your liberating ministry. Go forward in the power of love that sets us free. As our last act of worship, please turn and greet your neighbor.